The share market rollercoaster ride on the back of Europe's debt crisis has made Australians more cautious when it comes to money. Financial planners say we all need to plan carefully for our financial future. Tonight, some advice from one of Sydney's best for 30-somethings.
Life might feel like one big party in your 20s, but when you hit your 30s, it's time to rein in that lifestyle and spend your money wisely.
No, but I should do. Have you got any advice?
No, but top financial counsellor Anthony Bell does.
The 20s is probably the last time where financial irresponsibility can be forgiven.
Christina Ranson admits she squandered cash in her 20s. Now 37 with 2 kids, her priority is paying off the mortgage.
Nearly all our money goes into paying that mortgage at the moment, but savings is maybe third in the pecking order, I don't know.
Tough, but she's on the right track, says Anthony.
You don't want to get to the back age when you're sort of near the end of your 30s and still not even have a deposit for a home.
His recipe for happy finances in your 30s is take a mortgage and buy that first home, but try to save 20% of your salary. Invest in solid blue chip shares and consider an investment property.
Capital growth, though, whether it's property or shares, is the actual trick.
Don't worry too much about your super at this stage, says Anthony. Your employer contributions should be enough to start building a retirement nest egg. Besides, many 30-somethings will be having kids about now, so think about those school fees. Pippa Gardner, 7 News.
And Anthony Bell will be chatting live on our website tonight from 6:30, and tomorrow his advice on what you should be doing in your 40s. Time for sport now. Smart banking and wise investment are what financial advisors urge for people approaching middle age. In part 2 of our series on securing your financial future, tonight a look at what ought to be the roaring 40s.
The middle age spread may have hit, but that's no excuse not to be financially fit in your 40s, says Anthony Bell.
40s is where it all happens. You're probably at the peak of your income at that point, and so you need to make sure that you're aware that that income has got to be really carefully used.
Anthony's tips for financial happiness in your 40s. Pay off that home mortgage, really nail it. Buy an investment property which can help reduce tax. Build on your blue chip share portfolio and invest in term deposits.
It's a very important thing to make sure you don't become too property focused and that you actually balance your portfolio with some cash and cash reserves.
This is also the time to get serious about superannuation. Anthony says to salary sacrifice. Increase your contributions to 15 to 20%. This will also help reduce your tax bill. At 43, Jennifer and her husband made super their priority, setting up their own fund.
We dictate what shares we would like to purchase through our super fund. That way, if it does go down, it's our fault, no one else's.
Anthony says it's important to watch your super fund. If the managers aren't doing a good job, switch or do it yourself. Our website has more information. Pippa Gardner, 7 News.
And our series continues tomorrow night when we examine what people in their 50s can do for a more secure retirement. Superannuation should be a big focus for people in their 50s if they're taking notice of financial advisors. In part 3 of our series on securing your financial future, tonight a look at those who should be eyeing off retirement.
Like many 50-somethings, Frank and Deb haven't given their golden years much thought. Now they're spending their kids' inheritance travelling and enjoying life.
We would certainly do with more help, more advice on the things we should be doing.
I'd say the financial advisor might perhaps say we should be doing more to get ready for retirement.
He sure would. Anthony Bell says in your 50s, your savings program should be in full swing. If you stopped work tomorrow, imagine whether you could afford to retire.
Retirement and life expectancy right now is going up ways, whereas retirement funds are going down ways. So it's not just getting between 65 to 70, it's got to get from 70 to possibly 90.
Anthony's tips for an over 50s nest egg. Maximise your super. Pay off the mortgage and other loans. Make a retirement plan and avoid risky investments. Also reconsider any costly hobbies or habits like gambling, racehorses or expensive sports cars. Can you really afford one of these in retirement?
this is the period where safety is really important.
Well, I'm not getting rid of travelling. It's an expensive habit, but what is life for?
If you plan early, Anthony says there should be enough cash for holidays to last a lifetime. Pippa Gardner, 7 News.
And Anthony Bell will be online at 6:30 to answer your questions. Just go to our 7 News website to join the conversation. Tomorrow night, his top tips for people in their 60s. Global economic uncertainty has many workers now in their 60s also uncertain about when to retire. But experts say they should at least begin planning for it in tonight's final part of our series on securing your financial future.
In your 60s, you should be retirement ready, like Kathy and Michael Breen. They've battled their bills and cleared all their debts.
All our mortgage is paid off. We don't have any other debts. We have 2 credit cards, and each month we pay off the entire balance.
Financial advisor Anthony Bell approves. He says in retirement you need to be cash rich.
Cash flow is everything. When you get to retirement, you need a flow of cash. There's no point on being able to say, yeah, I own a building and the building's worth $1 million, but it only pays me a rent of $20,000 a year.
So, for those who qualify for a seniors card, sell down assets and switch to cash. Exit risky investments, pay out loans and leases, find out if you qualify for a pension, and consider downsizing the family home. The 60s are the time to decide when to retire. So work out how much money you'll need, whether you'll have enough by the target date or should you work longer. Kathy lost a chunk of her super in the GFC, so at 63 she plans to work for a further 2 years to boost it. Well, that's what she tells her husband.
I quite enjoy it, and he'd be under my feet if I stayed home all the time.
Our website has more information. Pippa Gardner, 7 News.